Hey guys, I know my channel is Mike's MR2, but while the MR2s are down and out for rebuilds and reinstalls, that thing drinks gasoline, and go Brandon. I got me this 94 Audi Cabriolet. Worked out a deal on it and an 87 Porsche 944. Really good deal. Didn't really want to do everything that needed to be done to the Porsche, so I sold it a week later for exactly what I paid for both cars. So I got this for free in the end. Had it for a little while, driving it back and forth to work, fix stuff as it shows up, which on Audi seems to be a everyday deal. I have never done this before. I've never done timing on anything other than domestic V8s. I can probably still do those with my eyes closed. And most of the time you do those with your eyes closed because you're feeling everything. I'm not going to do a video here of how to do this because I don't know how. I am winging it and using the YouTube, and I got a repair manual on my computer. I had it sitting up here, but as you can tell, I needed the room. I am the messiest mechanic on my own stuff. I just pile everything on top of the motor and the window and everywhere that I can. It fought me a little bit. Somebody had done a timing in, well, yeah, the belt's new. There's no way it's got 87,000 miles on it. Not possible. But they did not change anything else while they were in there. And they stripped out 2 of the Torx or hex head bolts on the crank dampener. And that took me all of about 12 hours to get one of those out. One ended up coming out pretty easy. One, I'm probably $100 in tools and stuff to go get it out. And then it ended up just coming out really easy. Yeah, a lot more than I thought I was going to be involved in doing this. At this point, I have it at the point where I'm going to scrape where the gaskets go, and then it's a reassembly game. Been relying heavily on guys on an Audi forum. There's a couple of guys on there that are awesome as hey. I mean, you couldn't ask for better guys. They've been very helpful. I know one is in the States and one is in Europe somewhere, I'm sure. And they've been a wealth of information. I send them a photo of what I'm looking at. They reply back with something that makes sense. Helps me out a lot. I do not want to trash this car. It literally does have an original 87,000 miles on it. What prompted this was the OEM thermostat stuck closed, would not open, and there's a bleeder valve on a heater core hose that is made of plastic, and it popped it off and sprayed antifreeze all over everything. Luckily, I was almost home when it happened. This car kind of leaks oil on the drinker side over here on the passenger side. I'm going to change valve cover gaskets whenever I get it running again, and then chase it down the motor, because I've wiped the valve cover gasket all the way around, and it's still got a leak, and that area is all dry, but I have them. It isn't going to hurt. I can also take a look at the inside, make sure everything looks good, but I want to get it running first. I'm going to do something else I haven't never done. Power steering pump on this is really, my 63 Bel Air steers easier when it's sitting at idle. But driving along, it has power steering, no problem. The pump is pumping, but not quite like what it should be. So instead of spending $150 minimum plus shipping on a remanufactured pump, I'm gonna remanufacture the one that's in my car, or was in my car. It's over on the bench right now. I'm gonna get after it probably tonight, and I'm gonna finish all this buttoning back together tomorrow after I get home from church. I don't know what else to say. I'm amazed that I've gotten this far, but I am worried that when I get it all back together, I've done something wrong, ends up piston, smacks a valve, car goes to the scrap heap. No, I actually probably wouldn't do that. I would actually probably find a used 2.8 and drop right back in it, because this car is it's in really good shape. It had a regulator out on a window. It's convertible. I got it, that came from Turkey on a slow boat that took over a month to get here, and when I got it, I got 2 of them. It's good because they're actually kind of cheaply made, and one of them didn't want to hold together very well. So all this teardown was over a stupid thermostat that goes in this hole on one bracket, that goes over here to a hose that goes to the bottom of the radiator. Yeah, bottom of the radiator. And while I was in there, it's getting a new water pump, which was not replaced when they did the timing belt. While you're in here, why don't you just do everything? The timing belt comes in a kit with seals, 3 of them, one for each cam, one for the crank, and that pulley down there just slides right off. You pick out the old seal, push the new seal in, and persuade it a little bit. These up here are on the cams are a little bit harder. The real difficulty in them is you've got to pull off the cam gears. I'm thinking they're not leaking. I'm not changing them, but I am going to do that crank, since it's so easy. I mean, nothing's easy, but it is doable. There is no reason not to do at least the minimum, and I have no idea why they didn't put those on. They did. It comes with that tensioner pulley, and it comes with an idler pulley that goes over here somewhere, I think in that hole. Well, the idler pulley that I got in the kit works great. The tensioner pulley, I'm going to have to use the old one, because the hole that bolt goes in is not the right diameter. I've got to, of course, turn this back. If you can see, there's the mark, and there's the mark. I've got to turn that back whenever I'm ready to set the belt on. Good thing is it was already marked, but whoever did the timing got this exactly one tooth too far back this way because they marked everything with an old stretched out belt. And when it should have gone on this tooth, they had it on, not on this one, literally it was on this one and should have been on this one. And the way we figured that out is there is a tool that goes across the engine. It mounts in these two holes and these two holes. They are supposed to be absolutely 100% directly across from each other when the cams are in the exact right position, and they were not. I could put this side on perfectly fine. This side was cocked one tooth up, so the bar would only go into one of the holes but would not go into the back hole. And then I got it in the back hole, but then it wouldn't go in the front hole. So when I go back together, I'm going to advance it that one tooth and then put the bar back on to hold it, and then put the belt back on. The bar is in the way of putting the belt on, so you put the belt behind the bar and loosely put it on the cams, put the bar in place, then you can take it on and off the cams. It's really kind of a neat tool. This is it right here. It has two dowels over here, two dowels over here. It gives you plenty of room bent out so that it won't mash up against the motor, because it doesn't need to. There are videos out on these Audi 2.8s, but not this one, on how to do the timing. They are all AAH engines, and those are like European, and mine is an AAH engine. The way we know the difference is when you're watching the videos, this piece right here is up here somewhere and these cams are way over here to the side, and that being the biggest difference that we could find online. And the manual shows it doesn't have, okay, the drawings in the manual look like a 5th grader drew them just by what somebody was telling him. He had never seen the parts. They're very rudimentary, and they're all drawings. There are no photos whatsoever. It's a digital PDF. Why not put some photos in it? Come on. It was expensive enough. Well, I'm going to call this part 1, tore down Audi 2.8. I know it's not an MR2, but it is my daily driver while gas is stupid. Once I get the black MR2 back, that will become my daily driver, because it will have a low mileage engine in it that has, unfortunately, had a lot more done to it than I wanted to do, because my brother doesn't do anything halfway. I just wanted the motor freshened up. Hell, he's putting valve springs, head gasket and all that, and called me and said, "You're gonna have to order all this new stuff for your autocross car." And I was like, no, I can't find that stuff. It took forever to get what I had. I spent $100 getting stuff to get those bolts out, but I got me a new toy today. This is a right angle. No, they're not paying me to advertise this. I got me a right angle M12. It's not fuel, not a big deal. It does the job. It is a drill. My neighbor borrowed my drill, and he is not locatable at this moment. It's not that. It's in one of his work trucks, and one of the guys has the work truck at his house. I'm not going over there and going through the toolbox to get my tool. So I went and bought this, and if you want, and you're watching this pretty soon to when it was made, this thing was $99, and I got a free battery. That's at the depot, the depot. I wasn't even expecting that. I have those batteries. I have an impact that uses them. I have a air compressor that uses them. Yeah, Milwaukee doesn't pay me for any of this. I am not sponsored. However, they could throw me some tools or whatever if they wanted to, but that's all I buy. I bought DeWalt when I worked in the natural gas and oil, and they were good. They were decent price. They were good tools. But then Milwaukee came out with the fuel, and I ended up buying a 1/2-inch impact to start with. And back then, that thing was $600. That did come with 2 batteries, but they were the big old honking batteries. I had to have something with some massive torque, and I will say that the 1/2-inch drive Milwaukee fuel impact did and has done everything I've ever tried to use it for. If it fits in there, it will tighten or loosen it. If it ever goes out, I will go buy another one. They are not near 600, but you get them as a bare tool only anymore, unless they're running some kind of a deal. But then it's still cheaper to buy just the tool because you probably already have batteries. I will post another one showing this thing put back together and or running, and I may even do a video if I do something catastrophically wrong and I blow this thing completely up or break a bunch of valves. Appreciate it if you watch. Like it, don't like it. I'm not monetized, so I don't think it matters. I've never made a dime off of any of this. I just kind of like to ramble and like to say what's on my mind while I'm doing stuff. Once I get the MR2s back, I will post quite a bit more stuff, especially when race season comes around again and I start GoProing my laps and some of the trips we take. I will post more then, but right now it's just going to be dumb stuff like when I was mowing my grass with my new electric weed eater and mower. That was fun. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you.